New data from the Commerce Department is showing that the economy shrank from April to June. It's the second straight quarter where the economy declined, and the latest sign that we may be headed for a recession, as some economists are now saying we're already there. Chief Economics Correspondent Rebecca Jarvis has more on what that means.
As debate grows over whether the U.S. is already in a recession or will be, the chairman of the Federal Reserve says we aren't there yet.
I do not think the U.S. is currently in a recession. And the reason is there are just too many areas of the economy that are performing, too well.
President Biden striking an optimistic tone.
If you look at our job market, consumer spending, business investment, we see signs of economic progress in the second quarter as well.
Regardless of what it's called, Americans are feeling the pain in their wallets. According to a growing number of economists, including Bank of America and Goldman Sachs, the signs of a recession are forming, with inflation up 9.1%, prices rising on food, shelter, and transportation. And while gas prices are starting to drop, it still costs over 35% more to fill up than this time last year. In California, one of the most expensive places to get gas, drivers are paying an average of $5.66 a gallon, making it almost $100 to fill up a 16-gallon tank.
It's really hard to stick to a budget because now what I pay for gas a month is almost what I pay for rent a month.
Consumers also facing double-digit increases at grocery stores.
I used to do my monthly groceries for $200, and now it's costing me around $300, $350.
And our thanks to Rebecca. Let's talk more about this and bring in ABC News business correspondent Alexis Christoforous for more. So, Alexis, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell now saying we are not in a recession because too many areas in the economy are doing well. But you know that some economists are saying, yes, we are. So it seems like this debate is only growing. So just tell us where we stand from your perspective.
About this debate, right, this semantics debate. What is a recession and are we in a recession right now? Because as Rebecca said in that piece, most Americans don't care what you call it. If you're feeling the pain, then it's a personal recession to you. So we continue to pay more for just about everything. Inflation up 9.1% in June compared to the same time last year. So the Fed is getting aggressive and really doing the only thing it can and that it has within its power right now, and that is raising interest rates. So we got the fourth interest rate hike of the year just the other day from the Fed. The hope is that that's going to cool down consumer demand, help supply chains sort of loosen up a little bit as they keep up with that demand, and bring the economy to a sustainable level without pushing us into a formal recession. And I have to say, there are signs that that's starting to happen, that the economy is softening. Housing demand has come down quite a bit, and even some consumer spending now is pulling back.
So despite seeing some economic progress, and you've been talking about that all this week, inflation is up 9.1%. So let's talk about how this is impacting just our daily lives when we're going out to spend money, buy groceries, gas, etc.
Yeah, you'd be hard-pressed to find an area of the economy not being felt by these higher prices. I actually did a little digging recently, did a story for ABCNews.com, and found that one area that's not feeling the impact of higher inflation, and people are going to say, really, is healthcare. And that's because the insurers and the providers have to negotiate healthcare prices well in advance. So they're not sort of privy to sort of the ups and downs of prices the way we're getting them at the grocery store and the gas station. So that's one area that's not feeling it as much. But pretty much for anything you're doing, whether you're buying furniture, whether you're looking for a home, whether you're trying to finance something, because now interest rates are higher. So car loans, home mortgages, home equity loans, even small business loans have all gotten more expensive now to take out.
So the president says the Inflation Reduction Act that was introduced by Senate Democrats, we talked about this yesterday as well, would help fight inflation. It's a key message the White House has been pushing ahead of the midterms. So there are politics involved here. Could this bill really help reduce the pressure on the economy?
Yeah, I think it's an understatement to say that politics is involved here. We saw that sort of play out a little bit yesterday. But it's still yet to be seen whether or not this is going to bring down inflation. Even the White House itself didn't come out and explicitly say how and when, because reporters were asking for a timeline. In there is a rise in corporate taxes, and some are saying now is not the time to tax corporations more when they too are feeling higher inflation. We don't want them to start to have to tighten their belts and also start to lay off people. So I think time's going to tell on that one. Certainly, some of the relief that folks might get on the healthcare end because of this would be welcome relief. But overall, there's very little, and we've seen this over the past few months, there's very little the White House can do to really bring down inflation. It's more of a Federal Reserve job.
And so JetBlue is now announcing it plans to merge with Spirit Airlines. We're sort of switching gears for a minute here. You think that it would make the 5th largest U.S. carrier if that happens, but industry experts are saying that the deal could lead to higher fares across the board. What do you think this means for us? Because we're already dealing, right, with higher ticket prices with a number of airlines.
Yeah, good point, because airfares are up 34% domestic airfares in this country since the same time last year. So that's another big area where we've seen a lot of inflation because the planes need all the jet fuel and jet prices are up. And so they're passing those costs along to you and me. This is a really big deal. It's $3.8 billion. It's going to bring together 2 low-cost carriers. You know, Spirit is sort of a bare bones low-cost carrier. That might change now with this deal. JetBlue is going to retrofit all of the Spirit Airlines planes to be like theirs. They're going to fly under the JetBlue name. JetBlue, for its side of it, is going to get more routes. It looked to expand in areas like Fort Lauderdale and Orlando, San Juan. But in terms of pricing, I think the jury is still out. At least you still have Frontier, which is an ultra low-cost carrier out there, and a new carrier here on the East Coast called Breeze Airways. They might be able to put some pressure on JetBlue to keep those prices lower.
All right, Alexis, appreciate your time as always. Happy
Thanks.
Friday.
You too.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.